Hello friends, I am Rashmi. Welcome to SRS Info. Today we are doing the last part of tablet coating, that is entry coating and micro encapsulation. We have already discussed about sugar coating, film coating and compression coating. Today we will do entry coating and micro encapsulation. So what is entry coating? Basically entry coating is applied to those tablets which are required to pass the stomach as such. We don't need any reaction or any disintegration in the stomach of that particular drug, but readily disintegrate in the intestine. We need the disintegration of those drugs in the intestine. Such types of drugs are given the entry coating. And the commercially used materials for entry coating are fats, fatty acid, shellac derivatives, cellulose acetate phthalates, etc. And cellulose acetate phthalates gives most satisfactory result in entry coating. So this is one of the most commonly used material for giving entry coating to the tablets. Now, the substances which are generally given the entry coating tablets are those types of drugs. This is a very important topic. Basically, which types of drugs are given the entry coating, or entry coating is required for which types of drugs? Those drugs which are decomposed in the acidic medium of the stomach. That means stomach has the acidic medium. But we don't need the decomposition of the drug or disintegration of the drug in the stomach. Okay, we need its disintegration in the intestine. So when these drugs enter into the acidic medium of the stomach, there is a possibility of disintegration. To avoid this disintegration, we give entry coating. Clear? Then those drugs which produce irritation in the stomach, even though there will be no disintegration, but sometimes it may produce the irritation of the stomach, and those types of drugs is also giving this entry coating. Then the action of which drugs? The action of the drugs which is required only in the intestine. We don't need any interaction or action of the drugs in the stomach. We need the action only in the intestine. Such types of drugs are also given entry coating. Some types of drugs which cannot be absorbed in the stomach. Such types of drugs are to be absorbed in the intestine. Okay. Those types of drugs which are absorbed only in the intestine are also giving this entry coating. Then the last one, delayed action is required. If we need a delayed action of drugs, in such case, we give entry coating. Entry coated tablets give delayed action. Clear? So all these points are very important for your examination. So understand the concept clearly. Now let's understand the steps of entry coating. This is very simple as the tablet coating. We have discussed about tablet coating many times. In the coating pans, the tablets are at the bottom. We spray the coating material. Then the pan rotates. Heat is supplied. Evaporation of the solvent of the coating material by giving a thin and complete coating of the tablet. The same process is applicable here also. The alcoholic solution of the arsenic-free shellac may be sprayed on the tablets coating in the coating pan, and the tablets are allowed to rotate until the alcohol, that is the solvent, evaporates and the tablets are dried by means of the current of hot air. Clear? If we need only this much of arsenic coating, then we can stop the steps here. But if we want to continue the coating with the cellulose acetate phthalate, which is one of the most commonly used coating material and most effective also. If we need this double coating, then what we will do? The cellulose acetate phthalate is dissolved in an organic solvent like alcohol and sprayed over the tablets rotating in the coating pan. Then again the solvent is allowed to evaporate and the tablets are dried by means of hot air. This is the steps of entry coating of tablets. When we use the cellulose acetate phthalate as the coating material, one point to be taken care of is that we have to give a sealed coating of wax. Why? Because the cellulose acetate phthalate coating may lead to the penetration of water. Okay, and to avoid the penetration of water and to protect the tablet from this penetration of water, we have to give the coating of wax. So this is an additional point in the case of cellulose acetate phthalate coating. And to reduce the cracks in the film coating, there is a possibility of the cracking after the coating of the tablets. Okay, this is a manufacturing defect, and to avoid this defect, plasticizer can be used. So this is the extra techniques, extra mechanism to avoid the manufacturing defects of the entry coating tablet. These points also to be noticed. Next and last one is microencapsulation. In the diploma course, only the basic concept of microencapsulation is described. The detailed study is given in the B.Pharma and M.Pharma courses. Here I am giving the basic concept of microencapsulation. Basically, what is microencapsulation? Microencapsulation is the process or technique by which solids, liquids, or dispersions are given thin coatings of microscopic size, ranging from several tenths of a micron to 5,000 micron, from 30 to 35 to 5,000 micron in size. Basically, a relatively thin coating is given to liquid, solids, or droplets or dispersions to give a protection, okay, and making this as a medicament for human use. This is the main purpose of microencapsulation of drugs. Clear? These types of jelly covering is given to the drugs. The drugs are in the form of droplets or small particles of liquids or solids or dispersions. The size of this coating vary from 35 to 5,000 micrometer. Clear? There are several methods of microencapsulation like air suspension, co-acervation phase separation, electrostatic deposition, spray drying, congealing, and pan coating. But in this class, I will discuss about the co-acervation phase separation. This is the important technique for your examination purpose. But I will just give you the explanation of this others also. What do you mean by air suspension? In air suspension, the drug particles are coated and dried while suspended in an upwardly moving current of hot air. And this air suspension is basically applicable to vitamins, minerals, etc. For giving the encapsulation of vitamins, minerals, etc., we use the air suspension method. The drug particles are coated and dried while giving a hot air current, upward moving current. Vitamins and the particles are coated and dried also. Okay. This is the air suspension method. Then simply what is spray drying is also the same as that of air suspension, but this is a continuous transformation of the material from the fluid state to solid state by spray drying. The coating also takes place along with the drying. Clear? Then congealing. What is happening in congealing? The core material in this air suspension and spray drying, what is happening? The coating is given by spraying. But in congealing, the core material is dispersed in the melt coating material. Clear? The coating material is melted and this core material is dispersed in the coating material, which is spray of that coating. Clear? And in pan coating, this is one of the oldest industrial technique for giving microencapsulation. The same process as that of the tablet coating, but high temperature is provided. The coating material is melted and give a coated cover over this micro capsules or the micromolecules of tablets, solids, liquids, etc. This is the pan coating. And this is electrostatic deposition. The deposition is applied here. Okay, electrostatic deposition is applied for giving the microencapsulation. Clear? Now we will discuss about co-acervation phase separation. Basically, you have to understand that there is a core material, okay, and coating is given over this core material. Core material is the active drug. This is the active drug. And over this active drug, the coating material is applied. This is simply what we can call the co-acervation. But in co-acervation phase separation, what happened is, this is a process that when solutions of two hydrophilic colloids are mixed under suitable conditions, separation of liquid phase take place. Okay, what we will do with this liquid phase? The core material is separated, the liquid phase is separated, and then depositing the liquid polymer coating upon the core material. Okay, this is the core material and the small particle given as the coating. And in the third step, rigidizing this coating. Clear? It involves the three steps. The first step is the formation of three immiscible phases, that is liquid manufacturing vehicle phase, core material phase, and coating material, which I have shown you in the previous slide. Then the deposition of the coating material over the core material. This is the core material, then there is a deposition of this coating material. And after this deposition, we will make it rigid to protect this core material. This is the rigidization of the coating by thermal cross-linking or dissolvation techniques to form microcapsule. Okay, this is the microencapsulation by co-acervation. And mainly gelatin, polyvinyl alcohol, ethyl cellulose, cellulose acetate phthalate, and styrene maleic anhydride. These materials are used for coating this capsules. Okay, coating the microcapsules or micromaterials. And based on the area of the material to be covered and the characteristics, physical and chemical characteristics of this core material, the thickness of the film can be varied. Okay, this point is also important. The thickness of the film can be varied according to the surface area of the material to be coated and other physical characteristics of the system. What are the uses of microencapsulation? Why it is important? Yes, for masking the taste of the bitter drug. Bitter drug can be easily masked by microencapsulation, and for separating the incompatible ingredients. Incompatible ingredients can be separated. And to prepare the sustained action dosage form, it is comfortable to prepare the sustained action dosage form by using this technique. And the drugs can be protected from moisture and oxidation. Microencapsulation is highly approved technique to protect the drugs from moisture and oxidation. And volatilization of the volatile substances can also be prevented by using microencapsulation. So these are the areas where microencapsulation can be applied. Now we complete the tablet coating processes. In the next class, we will start with the evaluation or standardization of tablets. Hope you enjoy this video. Thank you.